y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story from Euro News next that recently came out, and it is about food scarcity and how sawdust is going to be a solution. So, I don't even know where to start. This is like a whole other level of Soylent Green, but let's just get into it. So it says sawdust, for starters, could turning industrial waste into meat alternatives solve food scarcity. If you live in a major city, you really need to pay attention to this. All of us need to be paying attention to this, but if you live in a city, you need to understand the goal is to make sure you don't have any real food, and whatever you do eat is going to be loaded with genetically modified things that I can't talk about on this channel because the video will be taken down. You'd have to go to my Rumble channel to see the videos that I've done about food and what's in the food now. So it's just a continuation of that. Look at that picture of good old sawdust. We already eating pulp if you eat Parmesan cheese out of the little can on the shelf instead of eating fresh cheese. So they've been, practicing on us for quite some time, and we've been okay with it. So I guess they're escalating the trials. So it says, would you eat industrial byproducts? One food tech company from Estonia certainly hopes so. Think about sawdust. Eating it probably the la- is eating it pro- is probably the last thing that comes into your mind, but that may be about to change thanks to one Estonian startup. AIO. Notice all these things have the same type of lettering or symbols. So I mean, you gotta know all this stuff is on one page. They're all on one page. AI, artificial intelligence. I don't know what the AI is supposed to mean, but I guess it's artificial food. Set up in 2022 has created a way of producing fats and oils from industrial waste. Who wants to eat industrial waste? We are already sick and ill. Just because they create something doesn't mean that it's good for us. Our body is not supposed to consume that. The creator told us what we were supposed to eat and what we should stay away from. There is nowhere in the Torah or in the Bible where people was eating wood. Just don't, I mean, why do you have to eat wood? When everything on this earth will multiply if you leave it alone and stop messing with it and stop trying to control everything. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox. What we have developed is very similar to brewing beer. Ooh. Where yeast is used to convert sugars from barley into alcohol and hops are added for taste. Co-founder Petri Jean Latvi told Euronews Next, explaining how it works in the simplest of terms. We are using a different type of yeast that converts sugars from industrial side streams, but not into ethanol, into fats and oils instead, he added. It's basically a very natural process like fermentation. It's basically. I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand the children of the corn. I will never understand the children of the corn. I will never understand the children of the corn. Never. Timber, agriculture byproducts like straw, and even food waste can be turned into ingredients for the food or cosmetic industries. Plus, the process doesn't need other inputs. Save a little bit of nitrogen and is easily scalable in other locations around the world, according to Latvi, which is why I'm talking about it. It's because this is the plan of the future. They're gonna grow a lot of timber. I live in an area where they do pulpwood, so they grow trees on land. They cut the trees down. Usually, the wood is used for paper products, for toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, stuff like that. But they're going to accelerate that, and use paper. I'm sorry, use the wood now for food. And it's going to happen all over the world. Now, please tell me how this is going to save the environment, because trees clean the air. Trees help filter the impurities out of the air and rain so that it won't go into the ground. Like, it's the Most High's natural way of creating a filter, for us. And they are going to cut them down so you can eat them. Not making any sense to me, but okay. The rosy red oil produced by AIO's innovative process is ideal for making alternatives to meat, which often needs a splash of color to attract consumers away from their animal based rivals. And this is what it looks like. Let me blow this up so y'all can see. This don't bit more look like no meat. Uh-oh. Let me take it back down. Something happened. There it is. There is this picture. Look at it. Just look. That don't look like no meat. It kind of looks like sushi, but fish flesh don't even look like that. And then they got the nerve to have some little seasonings or something sprinkled on the top of it. It looks absolutely disgusting. But would you be able to tell this from meat? Um, I would say yes, because I have eaten enough flesh in my life to know flesh when I eat flesh. But this here, I'm not eating that. I'm not. The company says its encapsulated oils are a perfect plant-based substitute for bakery products. So if you don't learn how to bake your own items, get you some cookbooks, get you some flour and stuff, and practice and understand textures and different things, you're not going to know when you go to the store that this bread isn't bread, or those crackers really aren't made out of flour, it's made out of sawdust. This is the danger of our relying on them to feed us, because now we're so accustomed to going to the store and get cheap stuff, cheap crackers, cheap bread, or whatever. You just go to the store and keep buying this stuff, and then the next thing you know, you're sick, you're putting on weight, your body is trying to break down these things that is not supposed to be consuming. You got to go to the doctor, and now you are keeping up the medical industry, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. They'll tell you this is alternative. It's good. We don't know if it's good. They ain't even tested it on people for any significant amount of time to see what the impact will be on our bodies, how our bodies will react over a lifetime, because that's how long a study should take. We need to know if we eat this stuff weekly or monthly or however frequently people eat flesh and they're going to sell it to us, when will any side effects from the artificial color, from the wood products, or whatever else is waste? So if it's waste, it means it's probably mixed with something else. Nobody's telling you any of that stuff. They're just like, oh, we got wood waste and we're going to fix it up and make it food, look like meat so you can eat it and it'll be fine. It's basically just like fermentation. How many times have we heard this from these children of the corn, and they have messed us up? Messed us up. So, no thanks. Besides being tastier and healthier than alternatives on the market, a key benefit of their invention is it mitigates the huge environmental impact of animal fats and plant-based oils, Latvi told Euronews Next. So the ultimate goal is to stop you from eating flesh, because they want to get rid of all the animals. They don't want you to have no meat. And again, if you have not watched that movie Soylent Green, nobody had meat in the movie. The only people had meat were rich people, and the meat was so disgusting and just so pathetic that it was sad. You really have to watch the movie to understand where these people are trying to take you. And that movie was made in the 70s, but if you watch it and you watch the little man who owned the store selling the little meat, and it was just hardly anything. It was just scarcity everywhere. Scarcity, poverty, people piled on top of each other. It looked like just a big homeless encampment, but it was New York. So you look at what's happening in major cities all across America and in Europe, you can see the Soylent Green movie clear as day. And you see the fact that there was no meat. Everybody was just eating those little green sticks, different and red sticks, depending on what day they gave out the different colors. But the green sticks were supposed to be plant-based, whatever. But really, it was. Well, I ain't gonna tell you what it was. It was not meat. Um, these people are crazy. If y'all are not praying to be found worthy to escape all this stuff, I don't know what to say about you, but this cannot be. We just cannot, we cannot live like this. I don't know how we're going to make it. Anywho, producing palm oil, which is used in a myriad of everyday products like spreads and shampoo, has caused devastating deforestation across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, according to the World Wildlife Fund. Upcycling household waste. But there are other boons. Latvia claims their process can improve food security when local inputs are used, citing how the cough pandemic and Ukraine war disrupted global supply chains. Looking to the future, Estonian scientist come entrepreneur says AIO is working on technologies to upcycle household food waste, such as banana and orange peel. Oh, Jesus. Still, they may face many hurdles. When asked if AIO faces prejudice from customers who may be reluctant to eat industrial byproducts, Latvia insists the process is the same as making other fermented foods like kimchi or yogurt that people eat without thinking twice. Then there is the question of price. To compete effectively in the market, AIO products need to be cheaper than alternatives, especially palm oil, which is true because palm oil is very expensive. And a lot of these alternatives are not cheap. Not only are they not cheap, they don't taste good. They don't smell good, smell like dog food. So I ain't buying it. And lastly, you're not going to tell me something is the same as fermented foods like kimchi or yogurt, but I know kimchi is cabbage. I know where cabbage comes from. I can grow a cabbage. I could make my own kimchi if I wanted to. I don't need to have science to make kimchi. Same for yogurt. I can go get some milk and make yogurt if I wanted to, if I needed to, by hand. I know where milk comes from. We have dairy cows all over the place around here. I could go get some milk and make yogurt. I don't need science. It's a simple process, very old. Although we should be staying away from dairy. If I had to have it, I know how to make it. I don't need a lab to make anything that we eat today. Or I wouldn't need a lab to produce any food that I wanted to eat today because I wasn't raised that way. So just telling us that this stuff is the same as this is how white supremacy does. Just reinventing itself. This is currently not the case, though industry experts argue that if the environmental cost of animal and plant-based products were taken into account and government subsidies removed, then innovative replacements would be much more competitive. So I just don't understand. The other things is that um, When you talk about government subsidies, they're actually talking about how the government subsidizes farmers. They pay them to grow certain things and they pay them not to grow certain things. So if you took that away and farmers had to actually produce stuff at cost and put it in the market, they're saying that that stuff would be more expensive than the fake stuff, or it would be comparable to the fake stuff. I'm still buy the real stuff and just not eat it and just do less something else. But I'm not gonna buy no fake stuff and be like, "Ooh, I'm starving so bad. I'm just gonna eat this sawdust and have a Coke." Oh, you won't be able to get Coke because it's got CO2 in it. Drink some dirty filtered water. That's where we're going, y'all. Y'all should not want to be on this earth. Better get right. AIO raised um euro million from investors at the start of 2023 to support its bid to revolutionize the food industry. They always say that, and nobody buy this nasty stuff. Bigger questions surround legislation for Latvia. Legal barriers are probably the trickiest to overcome, or let's say they contain the most uncertainty because technology wise, we have been able to scale up the process very nicely, he told Euronews Next. This is why it's very important for you to pay attention to your Food and Drug Administrations. I don't know what they're called in different countries, but it's really important to pay attention to that because they're going to be passing all types of legislation so that you can just eat this stuff. And nobody's gonna care. Your representatives, they ain't gonna care. They all gotta do what the powers say do, or they're gonna be yeeted. So you're gonna be eating this stuff unless you got you some seeds. You can grow your own stuff. You know how to hunt. You know how to fish. Not that your bodies of water are gonna be safe, and not that your animals and your community will be safe to eat either. But at least if you know how to grow food and you have those things on you now, whenever the the food scarcity begins, or they institute these different agendas, you don't have to be a part of it. And if you don't live in the city, that's even better because you can grow your own food. If you live in the city, you're going to be policed and you're probably not going to be able to grow hardly anything. If you don't have seeds now and have the stuff to constantly grow food, in your house, in the privacy of your own home, I don't know how you're going to make it. The EU has some of the strictest rules around food production in the world. These help ensure edible products are not harmful to consumers or the environment. However, some experts and industrial figures have argued EU laws hinder food innovation. Don't nobody need no innovation. We need real food. That's what the Most High put here for us. Created and create no fake food. He ain't told y'all to innovate nothing. Y'all playing God. So, um, Soylent Green is looking like it is going to become a reality as food scarcity increases, as these wars continue, as trade agreements are broken and new trade partners and new um, global orders are formed. It's just going to be different, y'all. So you got to understand this. And there is not going to be um, anyone who gets to escape this except for rich people who already bought up farmland in places and or got their underground bunkers with everything they need in it. For just us average people, we will be collateral damage. So it's really important that you become self-sufficient and that you oh, that's so disgusting. Red color. And there's the scientist, one of AIO scientists. So they're like literally in the lab making up this stuff, and then they're telling us it's safe. How many times have we heard it's safe from them? I'm gonna just end this video because I can't even say what I want to say. Anywho, y'all see who is responsible for all the havoc on the earth. It is not us. Now, we may be terrible in some other ways, but we are not controlling the food sources. resources. We don't control the water resources. We don't control housing. We don't control banking. We don't control any industry, not even communications, where we allegedly have so much influence, negative influence. We don't control anything. So, with that said, we need to learn how to control the things that we need for our mere survival, basic necessities. And you need to come out of this system because it is going to change in a heartbeat. And if you are not ready for the changes, it will be too late once it happens, because they're going to take everything, all the alternatives away from you, and you won't have the opportunity to consume seeds from stores. And if you do, once this digital thing goes live, you won't be able to hide anything. It's just a lot of things are happening gradually and folks are missing it. So I really want y'all to pay attention to what's happening. These conversations are not happening in a vacuum. They are actually discussing food scarcity and planning food scarcity and planning alternatives, Soylent Green, for us to eat. I ain't eating it. So I'm be protesting to the end. And if anything happens to me, I did not do it to myself. Period. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey and Rumble in the event that this channel is taken down, because we are being heavily censored and monitored. So in the event that this platform goes down, backup videos are on Odyssey, and I will produce new content on Rumble unless I'm prevented from doing so there. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. I don't post there regularly, but in the event I need to send out an SOS, that is where it will take place. Finally, if you like to support the channel, links are in the description where you could contribute. All contributions are greatly appreciated. If you've already contributed, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is a labor of love. We do not get paid. I do not get paid because there is no we. I don't have sponsors, and I don't sell anything or promote anything for you to buy because I don't have time. And I just don't like to sell. I don't like to sell stuff. So I understand people have to hustle. I just can't do it. Not with this type of stuff, because this is really end times, present truth, information that the people need to have. And just like the word of the Most High, the Creator, I don't believe that we should be selling it. It should be free for all. So if you like to support the channel, links are in the description, and I would appreciate it. Lastly, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Repent daily for sins of commission and sins of omission. And please keep preparing, keep thinking about all the different ways you can be more self-sufficient, because they're not talking about this stuff for nothing. They're going to create food scarcity. It's being done now as we speak, but it's happening so slowly, people don't really realize it. But when your money is no good, you're going to eat whatever they put in the stores for you. And this is when they're going to introduce all these new things. They have an agenda. It has a time frame, a timeline. And so you don't want to be caught off guard. Make sure you plan, make sure you prepare, make sure you are situated and have what you need on your property, and perhaps some hidden someplace, so that in the event that things get wild, you're able to survive and take care of yourself and your family and your loved ones. Hopefully you're building community, neighbors, you have people you can talk to, so that they understand the times that we're living in, and that ain't nobody coming to save us, especially if your skin is brown. If you brown, you going down if you don't have a way to take care of yourself. So when I say brown, I mean black, not brown as in people of color brown. Brown. Here in the South, we have a saying that if it's white, it must be all right. But if it's brown, it's got to go down, meaning it can't stand. And so you must know that there's a concerted effort to take us out. And because we don't control any of our food supply, and we don't have any supply chains, we are in great danger. And so we must be thinking that way at all times. You're at war, and a lot of our people don't really understand they are at war, but we all gonna soon find out because the bottom's gonna fall out one day and we'll have nothing. So just keep prepping, y'all. Because I don't want us to eat Soylent Green. I ain't eating Soylent Green, period. All right, this is Mark K. Love y'all, and I'm out.